Hello. How is everyone? Sending love through all these little moments. Sending love for all these moments. Lots of love to all of you. Happy Wednesday. Happy day. Happy evening. All these moments that you may be participating. so, um, I was guided this morning to share a little bit, maybe expanded from another time that I had talked about this. Um, my spiritual cleansing technique or clearing, centering technique. And it is something that I do physically many, many times a day. I do it mentally by visualizing many times a day. I have over 50 plus years of using it, gotten to certain shortcuts that my guidance and I have kind of worked on together. But there is a reason for, and very important timings often when the whole technique or tool serves. Uh, so it is it's a three-part or three aspect part of this technique is physical, which I'd either like rub my hands or shake my hands, kind of building what we might think of as static electricity, that energetic um, increase. Using that energy, this is still in the physical part. I move it over, gently touching or just beyond the third eye, as if I'm parting a veil. And then move it back up over the crown, around the back of the neck, into the throat. Multiple times, so that's the physical part. The visual part is seeing, feeling and seeing the light that is in the hands, that is in this process, with deep breaths. And then the mental part, which is the words I choose to affirm the process. Over years, I've changed this. In the name of the God within, I cleanse my body, I cleanse my mind, I cleanse my soul. Again, saying it, visualizing the light, clearing, compacting the frequencies, moving them into a smooth field so that they're not full of jagged energetic charges, which usually happens in the process of living life daily, things coming toward us that we haven't completely integrated, things that, thoughts and emotions that we feel. So it's not bad. It's not cleansing like get rid of. It's just using this light and the intention and the process itself to smooth through, bring building light into the whole field. So this is a prelude for me to every moment I'm going to consciously connect to spirit, checking in with my inner guidance, with my body or with my angels about something, getting ready to move into a fuller state of trance for sharing messages, um, finish one task and clear before I set on to another task in my day-to-day life. And so all these shifts in energy are those parts of why I can say it's hundreds of times a day. I do my best to not take for granted that I've centered and cleared and done a wonderful meditation in the morning and I can just do that at night before I go to bed. Energy happens to shift, life shifts, there are opportunities. So the other thing I wanted to share about this is whenever I feel a need or desire to connect with my guidance team for a message, for anything that will be an anchor for my time, for the next task for the day or whatever. This is also my go-to. And that would be, I like to start each day. One of the things I start the day with is asking my team for a keyword that will be my point of power of pivoting everything around me throughout that day. There's lots of ways that people receive this, either through pulling a card or a little angel message. There's lots of tools that are available to help simplify that, with trusting that you're going to those tools with the same clearing idea. That's going to make it even more powerful, in my opinion, after all these 60 years of doing it. So what is my key word for the day? Today, my key word is sort. So when I ask myself, sort, well, what is the immediate thoughts I have about what that word might mean for me, or how I feel about that word? And then using that, it may show up in conversation, it may show up in print somewhere, it may just show up that at some point I ask myself again, midday or at some point, what am I learning about this? Where am I going with this? Where can I, how can I use this to deepen my own understanding, my wisdom, or my service, or all of that. So that's just one of the ways that I use this as a tool for myself, and I'm just offering that for you. And when I ask any question of spirit like that, when I'm cleared, it is through an in-breath and I'm pull-out breath, not blowing it out, not trying to monitor that, just releasing and letting it go. That's that moment that Spirit has shared with me a number of years ago, that there is a temporary disconnect from the thinking brain, so that it is an opening that allows for there to be an incoming message, a clearer expansion. It just is, play with it. I invite you, play with it. See what it brings you. And you don't have to seek to get a keyword or any of those ideas. You could, if you choose, just simply notice how you feel. I have done experiences with groups of people where we have the kind of a clear background when people dim the lights and look at people's aura around their head, around their body, and I have them do this technique visually and declare it, and then notice, what are you noticing, the shift. And it's interesting. See how you feel. Okay, onward to the next thing. So, all right, let's see what, who, how all this is going to move forward. Have a beautiful message moment. Thank you. Well, good day. Greetings with light and love. I am known in some circles of human awareness as Graham. In my rounds about all this earthly realm, I've learned many things. I've come to realize something very key that I wish to share with you. Every soul is sacred. Every soul is good. Fill in the rest yourself if you choose. Every soul is sacred. Every soul is great. If you do not believe this, God won't be irate. For all that you can think and all that you might do, the infinite of wisdom, God will always love you. So there is this message that I wanted to share with you now about the sacredness of every soul. Whether you think you like their personality, whether you think you enjoy their humor, whether you are fond and affectionate toward anyone, even if your emotions loathe an individual, it will never change that they are sacred in soul, and that they may choose a life expressing all the angst of their inner soul pain of growing, and in service to what the rest of humanity might need to recognize the sacredness of their own soul. So it's not about saying the right words, is it? It's not about being the right kind of individual. It's about being so authentic, as we're being played with so much of these days, that you trust the knowledge, the wisdom of the sacredness, whether you understand humans' words, humans' expression, humans' emotion, humans' actions. You don't have to understand all of that to be compassionately accepting that in the context of the great expansion called divine love, there is no soul that is tainted. All are sacred. Can a soul be wasted? Can a soul be useless? No. Can a human understanding create a limited life where there feels to be a waste of its full expression, a gap in their own acceptance of it all? Yes. But that's why you cycle and recycle and cycle and recycle, in and out of body, in and out of form, in and out of one life experience to another, to play enough in all these possibilities that your own sacredness becomes realized. And as you then know your own sacredness, it becomes available within you to recognize the sacredness in others. When you think some are here to save, and they're worshipped or given status of spiritual profound placement in a hierarchy, that is yet again another temporary idea of what sacred looks like. And if you recognize in another, here with you in your physical world, or out beyond in the cosmic world, in the so-called past or in your present, where you recognize the sacred expressed in humanity, you cannot see that unless it dwells within you. Do you not see that yet? That lives within you. That is your light you see reflected. It is you. And when what you are seeing, or believing that you are seeing and witnessing in others, are tainted souls, distorted experiences and expressions, wherever that is feared or judged, you recognize what you are hiding within yourself. So repeat this after me, then, everybody. Every soul is sacred. Every soul is great. Whether they know it or not, whether you could understand it or not, what if that was true? What if that was accepted as truth? Would you then run in fear, march in anger? Would you stand in the wholeness? What would you choose as your expression of the acceptance of that as true? You are sacred. Your soul, your wholeness of light is sacred. And you are a wonderful gift. So, spoof and be humorous. With love, respect, and reverence, that some of that is what you and others need to integrate the wholeness and the sacredness of life. Mark yourself when it is noted, this is sacred, this is not. This is God, this is not. So, yes, no. You can play that game eternally. So what if, no matter how you think of it, no matter what you feel, emotionally responsive in an energy that feels discordant and just profane and tainted, no matter all that, there is no change in the constancy of the sacredness of life expressing from the one source, from one love, from one God, from one infinite, from one universe, however you want to name all of these things. So you cannot change it. You then have one great choice before you. Accept, believe, breathe, and live by that faith and that trust that if it's so, that everything is so loved and so sacred, and it is all in service of the greater expanded light, then be open with that. Dance with it. Play with it. Clear your path. Not to free yourself in the sense of getting rid of all the excess that seems to be in the way of your path. That may be part of the process looks like, but it isn't all of it. It is clearing the path by your focus, by your intention. That's as simple as that. In a more recent, as you might think of time, life expression I played in, I studied years and long, hard hours, believing that my job, my role, my source of income, and all that would be my relevance to the world was to serve as physician. Never a waste of my moments to learn and to prepare, because it is through some of that knowledge that I awakened to, what if it's all a cosmic joke? What if all that, not to say no service and love positions all are perfectly wonderful. I'm happy that I had them in my days. It is that I, in that life experience, needed to push my brain in such a way, to manipulate what I thought was important in such a way that I needed to get so full of that, that my clearing would happen in another way than I would have ever expected. Through the honoring of playing with knowledge, through the honoring of playing toward giving knowledge, directly, satirically, playfully, perhaps inwardly in moments and outwardly experienced judgmentally. Aha, says the soul at some moment of its light. All that served. All is forgiven. All is well. Here I am to go forward. And I prepare then to be a reminder of some of these simple sacred truths of who you are, who we are. In my life experience from this named expression, I felt so proud to tell my mom, watch me on the telly. Let me know what you think. And I also felt disheartened that I wasn't understood then any more than I had been throughout most of my days in life in that way. Perhaps you've had moments like that in your life where no matter how and what you express, people you want to impress do not understand it, do not get it. No matter how you present, it's as if they are not connected to your language. Maybe your language is not just the words we speak. Maybe your language is not the ideas you wish to impart. Maybe the language is something more subtle than all that, and yet more profound than all of that. That is why we encourage you to play with it. Friends, I'm in joy with all that you are in your lightness here this day. Call upon all the mastery and the angels of beings that are all only witnessing your love, your sacredness, and are supporting that. Connect with that. Play with that. And sing joyfully the mantra. Every soul is sacred. Every soul is great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, there are moments I feel speechless because I'm so interdimensionally connected and seeking words to express what I've been experiencing is challenging. But I'm grateful that I've been able to journey to a personal experience that is very important for this cycle of my life, and I'm going to just share that without the words of all that I just received. But I'm hoping and praying that the messages that came through for you and for me is relevant and recognized as just what your soul asked for today. So I think that's it. I know Daryl will be putting comments in this sharing to give any explanation of what this message is. Also, any of our events that are coming up a week from Saturday, another play shop with Master Sensing, bringing us to Shambhala. That's all I can remember, and that's all I know in the moment. Well, thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.